yeah, they just go on a tear of LA, just kind of, fucking anything that moves, basically. And at some point, they start recording all the sex shit going on. They're filming all these women, and there's been various people saying some women said that they allowed it. A lot of people came out after Bob's death that they were not okay with that. They did not give permission.
Oh, and they didn't know?
For the filming, and they did not know.
Of course not.
Yeah. They were setting up cameras all over the
But
place.
those cameras were
everything.
so big back in the day. Like, where could you hide a camera like that?
No, but this guy working for all these corporations like Sony, he had access to the latest and greatest technology.
Good point.
They
And
built it
there
into
were
furniture.
cameras that weren't that big at that time.
They were building it in the furniture and stuff so they could hide it.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Yeah, they really took it seriously, and for no other reason than to get themselves off.
Yeah.
They're not selling it like the Pam and Tommy sex tape.
Right.
They just want to watch it and masturbate again the next day.
I do my best work in front of the camera.
I do mine behind.
It's fabulous.
There was a clip from Autofocus where Greg Kinnear and Willem Dafoe, they're watching the previous night's, encounter. And they're like, oh, man, look at the cans on this girl. I got to whack it to this girl. He just starts whacking off in front
Instead of calling her again.
Yeah, I know.
Right.
I don't know. Yeah, that's just what he had a sick perversion.
I believe in that same scene. Is that the scene where Greg Kinnear's like, what is that? And then they pause the footage. He points to a hand that's grabbing his ass.
Yeah.
He's like, whose hand is that? And Willem Dafoe's like, that's my hand.
Oh, get out of
Yeah.
here.
Well, there was a lot of reports of Carpy being bisexual.
Yeah.
And in that same scene, he goes, but you put your finger up my ass. I thought it was her.
Yeah, and then he says, I thought you liked it.
Yeah. I think Carpy was trying to groom him to become his boyfriend or something. I don't know exactly.
He had this notion that, hey, it's an orgy. Anything goes.
Anything goes. So they had a close relationship, but they had some touchstone moments like that where they would they get in beefs here or there.
They're mostly on the same page.
Mostly on the same page.
But not when it comes to him sticking his finger up his ass.
But the only thing that really keeps them together is that neither of them drink, which is a red flag also.
Yeah.
They were both what you would call teetotalers in the day.
So they're basically a couple of Crystalias hitting up the town.
Pretty much, but as far as I can see, they don't have. There's no under 18 stuff going on. They're all women of a certain age. So in 1970, by this time, these guys are as I was saying, fucking everywhere and everything. Bob's first wife leaves him. Anna is like, I've had it and seen enough. She's finding a lot of porn. She knows that she's out until all hours of the night, doing God knows what with Carpy. So she's like, fuck this. I'm kind of moving on. Before that, they had tried counseling with the church, with the priests and stuff. And, good luck there.
Yeah, and it's probably
turned out worse.
Yeah, how many women are you sleeping with? And he's
smell my fingers.
Yeah. He's like, I don't even know.
Yeah, I gave up count, Father.
Forgive me.
Now take your finger out of my ass.
You had a problem with that. A lot of guys' fingers his asses.
Yeah, everywhere he went.
Yeah.
The poor guy.
Around this time also, Bob was already having an affair with his Hogan's Heroes co-star, Sigrid Valdis, who played Hilda on Hogan's Heroes. So the wife is like, okay, this is enough. It's not worth it. I don't see this guy changing anytime soon, and I don't want him being a weird. Because already by this time, he has a really close relationship with his son, Bob Jr., I guess people call him. Mm-hmm. He's like his friend. Like Bob Crane was like a kid with his kid, basically. He was showing him porn, his own sex scenes and stuff, and in pictures of him with women and shit.
The son was privy to his secret life.
Yeah.
Which wasn't so secret with his son.
His son would just tell him whatever, you know, and
he equated it to the birds and the bees talk.
Yeah.
That was Bob Crane's version of the birds and the bees. Look at this chick I'm banging right now or something like that.
Pretty much. Yeah, I guess Bob Crane would just show everyone all these pictures and stuff.
Oh,
I guess
God.
Specifically he showed Patty Duke.
Oh, wow.
Nude pictures of all his,
Why would Patty Duke be interested in that?
He's crazy.
This could be you.
Yeah. That's a good Bob Crane.
Can I see your finger?
But he's nuts. He just shows people shit like this. But I think he's such a nice guy that people kind of go along with it. And, it's still kind of the 60s and 70s, swinging sex stuff. So
It's astounding to me how much he was recording. It was rare then.
Yeah.
And this guy was filming every
he
sexual
had like
encounter.
fucking warehouses
Yeah,
full
like-
of shit. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, like Spielberg didn't have that much film in his house.
So as you could see, he had a small house in Encino, and he can't hide all this stuff everywhere. So his wife probably came across some crazy fucking
Oh,
shit.
yeah.
He's probably like fucking a rooster or something. Who the hell knows what he's got in there. So eventually Bob's career is running on fumes, and he starts touring dinner theater, which is,
That's rough.
that's rough.
Very rough. To go
Yeah.
from a hit TV show to
Yeah.
the dinner theater circuit.
And I think his agent was like, this is all I can get you, because I think around this time, like I was saying, he's showing these pictures around to Patty Duke, all these other celebrities. I think we're starting to get out there that this guy's a liability, that this guy's trouble.
If you just have to start with Patty Duke. If he showed her, that means everybody's fucking seen
Exactly, yeah.
it.
And
Bob Hope, Frank
Yeah.
Sinatra.
Well, one of the good things about doing this dinner theater thing is that him and Carpy can now just travel the Southwest and like find a bunch of new crops of women to videotape and stuff. So they bring all the equipment with them throughout touring around with this dinner theater bullshit.
Obnoxious.
Yeah. And at this time, I don't know how much Carpy is really focusing on his job, because he's just leaving on a whim and just going to hang out with Bob. He's like a fucking groupie, basically.
Yeah.
It's getting weird. Like Bob is like, he's fine on his own. He can get chicks. He just doesn't even want to be around Carpy anymore, to be honest.
The thrill of the self-voyeurism is wearing off.
I don't know. I'm up and down on this. I don't know if he's 100%, because he's an addict. He's a sicko. His second marriage is crashing, and maybe you're right. Maybe he is thinking of getting out of the life, as he calls it, and
Well,
doing-
it must have been taxing.
Yeah, probably. And maybe it's just
Eating that much ass. Oh, God. This
just
is
get-
so boring.
you get like Will Smith. Maybe he started like puking when he was eating ass.
He punches Bob Hope at the Oscars.
That's always the end game. Yeah.
What'd you say about my wife?
What do you say about Sigrid?
Keep my wife's ass out your mouth.
And I hope they burn in hell.
Yeah. It's for my mouth.
Yeah. So yeah, this is the end of the relationship between Carpy and Bob. They're hanging out, and at some point he's like, you know what, Carpy? He had told his son this too, Bob Jr. He's like, I'm gonna get rid of him. He's gonna break up with his friend. He's like, fuck this, this is not going well anymore.
Did he just get the idea that, or he just finally figured out that Carpy was kind of just like a hanger-on?
Yeah. I think he understood that Carpy couldn't really do anything for himself, and at some point it just become a one-sided relationship where he didn't really need Carpy. He had all the electronics and stuff, so he was ready to move on, basically. There's another clip from Autofocus. This is just so good. This is when they're breaking up. Breaking up is hard to do, guys.
Breaking up is hard to do.
I'm sick of scoring broads for you, okay? There. I said it.
What am I, like a drag? A drag on your career? Who's always been there for you? When you were moping, complaining, John, nobody wants to hire me. Flying around the country whenever you called, hauling your shit from the airport, taking seconds. I'm a drag. Well, you're a f***ing loser. Bob Cring's a loser. I ain't a loser!
But this is basically the setup, they had always had a great relationship, but now things were kind of crashing to the end.
Yeah.
And
Coming to a head.
I think with Bob Crane, he really didn't think anything bad would happen. He could just tell some guy like this to fuck off.
Yeah.
And he would just fuck off, and that would be the end of it, which maybe most people should have that idea. But I don't know about you guys, but I'm super paranoid sometimes. Is this guy going to fucking kill me?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, you have to
I've definitely-
leave it on good terms.
Yeah. And, make a soft break, not just in some fucking Scottsdale bar, just say, I'm done with you.
You're a drag.
You're a drag.
I don't need you anymore.
Yeah. Well, because also I think this flip side of this, like I was saying before, I think Hollywood, he was getting a bad reputation for all this kind of weird sex stuff. So I think he was kind of cutting. Carpy loose kind of had to go as a result of that.
And that's the kind of friendship they had. He's not a friend you can bring to Thanksgiving dinner.
No, yeah, he's like a drug friend, basically.
Yeah.
He's like your Coke dealer friend.
And finger up your ass friend.
Finger up your ass friend, yeah. So after they have this kind of last hurrah, last dinner, last hangout thing in Scottsdale, Carpy was set to go back to LA the next day. So what happens is the next day is June 29th, 1978. It was a hot 106-degree day in Scottsdale, Arizona.
It gets hot.
I'm sweating.
Bob was staying over at the Winfield Place Apartments in Scottsdale, Arizona. Bob is found dead in his bed, bludgeoned to death on the head with a camera cord wrapped around his neck.
Jesus.
So Bob was found bludgeoned in the head with what appeared to be a camera tripod. However, the murder weapon is never found, but the tripod was missing.
It's just a camera on the ground.
Yeah, how did they know there was a missing tripod?
It's weird. I read 15 articles about this. I
Okay.
still haven't found out how they knew it was a tripod. I think it's just from the way it broke his head and stuff.
It said Sony on his forehead.
Yeah, that's great advertising. That's better than a billboard. I guess there was some semen found on Bob's thigh, but it was never tested. One of the
Oh, that's
detectives,
Tasted it.
Borgenhagen, asked, yeah,
He's like, yeah, that's cum.
did it like you do coke.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I guess Borgenhagen said he brought this up to the medical examiner, who said they never tested it, just figured that who cares? He just had a piece of ass. That's what happened. Okay.
Like we're not gonna get anything.
We're not
going to
get anything.
testing
Yeah,
the
well,
semen.
like don't bother me with your bullshit, Borgenhagen.
Unbelievable. It's probably Crane's, but still.
Yeah, it seems to be the case. I don't know why that would have been such a big deal.
But if it wasn't, if it was Carpy's,
Yeah.
then case closed.
Which is, if we're talking about the real Carpy of the other side of Carpy, he would maybe jizz on Bob and
Yeah.
then take off.
Very
As a
feasible.
power move.
That's a power move, yeah.